All right, we're live with another episode of Wesam's World here on Adobe Radio every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We've taken a break for the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, there have been some major life events that have happened. First and foremost, sending love and condolences to you again, Alex. Alex's mom passed away. She was an amazing person. And just such a lovely light in this world, and obviously a listener of the show.
She was a big fan.
She was a big fan, and sincerely, it's a unexpected loss and a great one. So everybody's sending their love to you during this time. And to compound on that, this tragic event for you and your family. If you've been watching anything happening in the Middle East, right now, there is multiple genocides happening of a lot of minority groups. And right now in Syria, there is a genocide right now happening from the current government, from this new government that preached that they were going to have freedom for all Syrians. And this is not true. The new leader of the Syrian government used to be literally Al-Qaeda. They are extremist Muslims. They are extremist jihadists. If you don't believe what they believe, they want to kill you. They want to kill you, massacre you and your family in the worst ways possible. They did it to the Alawites. They did it to the Christians in Syria. And now they are doing it to the Druze people, my family, in specifically in the town of Sweida right now. Over the past, since July 13th or the 12th, basically we've been attacked, that town, by literally tens of thousands of jihadists not just from Syria, but literally traveling to Syria just to kill Druze people, massacre the people in the worst ways possible that I can't really say here on Adobe Radio or list on YouTube, because then we're going to be flagged. But just imagine all the worst atrocities of war possible against men, women, and children. That's what's happening right now to the Druze people. It's apparently their turn for this jihadist government, this extremist government. This is very difficult for me to speak of. I really haven't slept in the past week. Really haven't eaten. Literally listening to voice memos from my family with guns and bombs going on in the background. I've shared a lot of stories on my social media of the truth of what's happening, and it's beyond heartbreaking watching people get massacred just because they don't believe in the same religion as you. That's it. That's what they're doing. That's what they did to the Alawites. That's what they're doing to the Christians. And I know you listen to this show for entertainment and some knowledge and wisdom, but this is something I have to address to everyone, because it's not just a problem in the Middle East. It's something that will grow into a cancer to everywhere in the world. And we've seen it here in the United States as well. Extremism in all forms. And if we don't stand up and put a stop to this, it's going to come into your backyard one day or another. It will. It's going to come into your hometown, and you're going to be like, how did it get here? It got here because we didn't do anything when it started happening halfway across the world. Please, 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 if you're a fan of me, if you're a fan of the show, I've put a link tree in my Instagram bio. It's Linktree Druze American, and it gives you a list and links of petitions to sign, organizations that are trustworthy you can donate to, that 100% of your money is going to help the people of Sweida right now. It gives you links to send to your representatives. It gives you links to share on your social media. And because we are in the age of technology, this is really crucial, because right now there's misinformation being spread on the Druze as well. One of these pieces of information is that we're the ones killing babies. We're the ones throwing people off rooftops. We are the ones killing indiscriminately and massacring people. And this is absolutely not true. The Druze have, for centuries, lived peacefully with everyone around them. We've only gone to war when people have gone to war with us, when people have wanted to kill us. And this is one of those times again. Literally, we are on the 100th anniversary of when we were leading the revolution in Syria against the French occupation. I can't express, please, if you have an ounce, a drop of decency in you, just go to my link tree, go to this link tree, sign the petition, share it with people, telling them, hey, these people, these jihadists, these extremists, this new government in Syria, literally the leader of Al-Qaeda, who used to behead American soldiers, is now the leader, and everybody's praising him. Like, that's what the new West was saying. Oh yeah, he's a good guy. He's not a good guy. Please, if you have a drop of goodness in your heart, share all this, sign the petitions, get it out there, keep pushing it, and and help us stop this misinformation, not just about the Druze, but also, more importantly, right now, there's still some fighting going on here and there. Even though the Syrian government is saying a ceasefire has happened, it hasn't stopped. There's still fighting going on. Please, they are spreading misinformation about us, and it just helps spread the truth of what's going on. Finally, right now, the city of Sweida has been without water or electricity for almost 2 weeks now, from when this airs, I believe. The government said they don't want to turn on the electricity, and they're not going to turn on the water unless they are allowed to go into the city and restore peace. These are the same people who want to come in there and kill everybody, mind you. We need a humanitarian corridor open through Jordan to put aid, to get people out of there. We need help. They need help. Please. I'm beyond emotional right now. I'm very emotionally and mentally spent, and the people there are way beyond that as well. Please, we need your help. That's all I can say. Again, it's check out my Instagram. It's at Wesam Keesh. In the Instagram bio, there's a link tree for Druze American, Druze American, and Sweida is being spelled multiple different ways. So if you want to see what's going on in Sweida, you can spell it Sweida, Sweda, and those are like two ways of spelling it to see what's really going on. Now, I want to warn everybody. You're going to sometimes see videos on there that are absolutely horrific. The worst of humankind is portrayed in that video. They would tie people to chairs and burn them alive. They would. I can't go on what's being done to these innocent people just because they're from a different religion from the current government in Syria. Okay. I feel I tried my best to be as clear as possible at what's going on, and there's a couple things I just want to bring out there. I'm sorry if I'm a little all over the place, obviously, from what's going on. There's also a couple of Druze, more than a couple, I believe, of Druze Americans who have been executed over there while they were visiting. Please. It's happening to the Alawites, the Christians, now the Druze. We need to come together, and we need to stop this. We need to hold the people who are doing this responsible. And that's it. I honestly don't know what to say else. I'm trying my best to reach out to people. If you know any journalists who can cover this, we've compiled evidence on in Syria with specific individuals, with people from the government. It's all compiled. We have it organized, and we're trying to get somebody to do in-depth stories about what's going on and get it out there to the world. So if you know any serious journalists, if you're a serious journalist listening to this, please reach out to me. I can get you in contact with someone who has everything, with multiple people actually, who has all this evidence, who can speak to you, and we just need to get the word out there ASAP, and we need to get them help ASAP as well. Humanitarian aid. I mean, just bodies in the street, bodies in the hospital, and they still want to kill us on top of all this just because we're from a different religion. They want to kill the Alawites. They want to kill the Christians. It's extremism, and it's absolutely disgusting. I know you come to this show for entertainment and for having like a good time, but I'm sorry, this is what's going on in my life right now. And I'm trying my best to keep the show going. I'm trying my best to be a functioning person, and I'm really trying my best not to just burst out in tears right now. I don't know. I don't know. We gotta take a break. All right, we're back with the show. Thank you for those of you who are still tuning in. We're going to do our best here to just talk about some current events, non-worldly current events, and get back into some of the acting stuff, entertainment stuff that's going on in the industry, and I'm going to do my best to keep the show going. So, yeah, let's
It's
see.
Wesam's world, so.
Absolutely.
Something that people are starting to talk about is Marvel. Marvel, I think, has been a part of our lives since early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of confirmed that after this new Avengers Secret War, that all the key characters will be recast to completely start over, because they essentially admitted that they had no plan beyond Endgame.
Obviously.
Obviously, yes.
I don't mean that in a negative way. I understand it's a large franchise.
It's a large franchise. You see the money, you see the dollar signs, and you think, let's keep it going, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people felt that. They could see the wishy-washiness of it. So I know some people will be upset because I feel like comic book lovers get very intense.
They're passionate.
They're
They're passionate about the original ones, like the first few that came out.
Yeah.
They were really great.
And they get really passionate about who's been cast. I mean, sometimes I feel like some actors don't want to get involved because they're afraid of the fan base a little bit, you know. But it's just interesting about keeping franchises alive.
Yeah.
You know, should franchises stay forever? Do they need to end?
Well, I have a little thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I share on the show?
It's your show. Please give me some thoughts.
You know, when what was the first one? Iron Man?
Iron Man was the big
Check.
main one. Yeah.
Is my mic okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Do you need
I
to
think
turn?
I think the headphones are just being a little weird right now.
Okay.
Iron Man was one of the first ones, right?
Mhm.
Would you mind checking to see what was like some of the first ones? Because I'm really curious right now. Because there's a reason why I want to bring this up, and I want to make sure I have the right movies discussing it.
Mm-hmm.
I know Iron Man was one of the first major ones to have a huge impact on everybody.
Yes.
And I think part of that was...
Iron Man was the first one.
Iron Man was the first one. Robert Downey's performance in that was absolutely extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely extraordinary. And it felt so right for the role. And I think because for decades and decades and decades, people in the comic book world, the fans, you know, they were already like hardcore fans in there, very passionate about it. And then to finally see it like come to life in a movie form that wasn't like, I'm sure there was terrible versions.
Like Wonder Woman from back in the
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're seeing like a very cool modernized version of it. They're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And because that movie was so good, studios, everybody was like, oh my gosh, we have almost an endless plethora of zeitgeist of the comic book world of Marvel we can pull from. And not to mention like X-Men movies. I think X-Men movies came out beforehand, right?
They did, yeah.
And they had a good, they did very well. But there was something about Marvel that people were very excited to get out there.
Yeah, it came in 2008, and I feel like they did a great job at the time with graphics, too.
Yeah.
You know, the special effects. Like, it felt very clean and real when you looked at it. It had the humor. It had the current events right at the time, you know, where you felt like, oh, this could really exist. This could be in our time.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's where I think it kind of fell off. So you've got people very excited, right? And then you've got, you know, the Avengers. You got Hulk. You know, the build up to the Avengers was a major thing.
Yeah.
And they did a great job with that. And then somewhere after, what is it, Avengers...
Endgame?
It might be just before Endgame, but somewhere around there. Maybe Endgame was the last one. I don't know.
Yeah.
With the exception of Black Panther, and I think there started to be a little bit, I don't want to say laziness, but there was a little bit of I don't want to say phoning it in because there's a lot of work that goes into it, but compared to the first ones, I think that people either got tired or it's just natural human... like just the natural human behavior. Okay, cool. I've seen. Okay, yeah, all right. I'm getting. It's the same. It's the same.
There's a pattern.
There's a pattern
to it. You know, we have the intro, the bad guy, the beating, then the storyline, and then the main bad guy. The oh no, can they do it? Yes, they can.
You know, it's what is that new Iron Fist or what's it called? The new Iron Man movie that just came out that didn't do so well.
Iron Man movie?
Yeah, it was like it's like a black female as Iron Man.
Oh, I don't know.
I forgot the name of it. It didn't do so great. And there are people both on both aisles fighting about why it didn't do so great. What's it called?
Riri Williams. It was from 2017.
No.
Wait.
No.
In Marvel Comics.
Might have been a TV show.
Ironheart.
Ironheart. There it is.
Yeah, sorry. If it's from Disney Plus.
It's Disney Plus. Yeah. A major issue that people are fighting over in the aisle. Some call it it's like racial bias on why it wasn't successful and like racism issue, while others are arguing that it was because they didn't stay true to the
source material,
the canon of of Iron Man.
Right.
And one of the things that I was like, oh, they actually have a point on they didn't stay true to the canon. There's it's gone viral, but a viral clip of her talking about Iron Man was Iron Man because he was a billionaire. And then it cuts to a clip of the first Iron Man movie where the bad guy's going, Tony Stark made this with scrap metal and nothing in a cave, you know? And it's like, oh yeah, wait a minute. He wasn't just rich.
Yeah. He's not Batman too, who was just rich, you know?
But he was smart. He was extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
He was extremely intelligent, and he used what he had. And I feel like a lot of people got turned off because they're like, wait a minute, no.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about the money. And I feel like whenever you're not true to the canon, the hardcore fans turn on you pretty quick.
Yeah. I also feel like his motivation to become Iron Man feels more special in a sense because he was making weapons. And then he saw the destruction his weapons did.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't do that anymore.
Right.
Right? So there's like a humanitarian realization to it as well.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know what her Ironheart reason why she was doing it. I know she was a student at MIT, and then somebody who was arguing is like, you couldn't make you didn't have enough technological things to help you out while you were a student at MIT. And it's little things like that that bring people out of it. And kind of to contrast it with acting, I tell my students whenever they're like doing scenes, the second you do something that doesn't make sense, audience members tune out.
Yeah.
And a casting director will tune out during your video. A director will be like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Same thing with major films like this.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a line of dialogue that doesn't make sense, you, the actor, have to hold a certain amount of responsibility to be like, whoa. I'm sorry. Can somebody explain this to me? Because this actually goes against what my character is or would do. What's going on here? There's a mistake here. I've questioned in a respectful manner people's writing on set before. Be like, oh, I have a question. Why do you say this instead of this? Because I feel like it could go two ways from here.
Yeah.
And we have a great discussion about it afterwards. And what's really cool is it happened on Chicago Fire recently, where my character, whenever he's comes to help, comes for like he's needing help and he's crying, I believe there was a line in there go, hey, do you mind if we call the writer because he wasn't on set? I was like, I have a really specific question because there's like two ways I can play this, and one is very emotional and one is just very entitled.
Yeah.
And those are two different performances.
Very different.
And so it's so funny because when I called the writer, like, oh, yeah, we talked about that in the writer's room. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome that small little line was discussed so heavily.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel good because then you're like, oh, I'm catching these things. And so anyway, going back to Marvel films that aren't as successful, I think the reason is
I think they saw dollar signs.
Yeah,
You
maybe
know?
they just thought they could just pump it out and make some money. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's a lot of the stuff nowadays. I wonder if it's too soon to recast stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where I don't think anyone would mind a break. You know, we don't need a new Marvel film every year or every 2 years. It's okay to take a break.
Yeah.
You know, there is a fatigue that's real. I haven't seen anything since Endgame, and I went to Endgame because I felt obligated to know how it ended. And it was kind of like, okay, here we go. You know?
Maybe I shouldn't say this on air,
What?
but I'm going to.
Okay.
I might get in trouble for this, actually.
What?
I was invited to the premiere of Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
Endgame, or is it the one before it? I don't remember.
Yeah,
one of them. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And then I asked my brother William, I was like, hey, you want to come to the premiere of Endgame? He was like, yeah, sure. I'm like, all right, cool. I walked the red carpet, answered some questions or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm really excited for the... And then I felt like a stupid hypocrite because I was like, oh, wait, I haven't even seen the last, 2 of these. And I'm like, what am I doing watching the final one? I'm like, I mean, I don't really... I don't read comic books. You know, I enjoy the movies.
Yeah.
And the characters. And then I was standing there. We were about to go in. I look at William. I'm like, do you want to watch this? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, I kind of don't. He's like, yeah, I kind of don't either. I'm like, would it be bad if we go home? He goes, how long is the movie? I'm like, probably 3 hours. And he goes, yeah, we should go home maybe. I'm like, yeah, let's just go home. And we left. We left. We took the subway back home.
Oh, my gosh. It was in Hollywood?
Yeah, and because we Ubered there, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not driving into Hollywood for the Avengers Endgame
Oh, my
premiere.
gosh. I'm sure that was crowded.
Crowded is an understatement.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. We had our Uber driver drop us 2 blocks away.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we were like, we'll just walk the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we were laughing on the ride home. We're like, there's going to be 2 empty seats in that theater. And people are going to be like, where are those people? But it's one of those things. I think you hit it on the head. It was fatigue.
Yeah.
At that time, there was so much Marvel stuff. I was like, how do I absorb all this?
Yeah.
And I think it's actually a really good idea to give breaks in between major films like that, because then we get palate cleansers. Like the studio can focus in on other types of movies where we're like, oh, like this summer it's like very like I don't know, old school or independently
Right.
like news
Yeah.
stories, and then that way it's like, oh well, next summer we've got the Marvel films that should be great.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have this anticipation.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it rather than, oh, there's another one.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, we're like,
just
oh, whoa.
consistently just.
And I think that's what made films in the 90s so special,
Mm-hmm.
was you weren't getting overwhelmed with movie after movie after movie after movie after movie after movie. There's a TV show. There's a new TV show. There's so much. No.
Right. Except the year 1993, as we've discovered.
Well, even then, it wasn't like now
Right.
how you're overwhelmed with options.
So much. I mean, it's like when you pull something up on TV with whatever billions of streaming services you have, and you go, what today? What should I watch today? And then you're just scrolling and you're scrolling and you're scrolling. And there's just so much. There's just so much.
It's too much, and this is the issue with it. Back in the 90s or the 80s, whenever you had to go rent a movie or you had to go to the movie theater. Well, let's just talk about renting a movie.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me. Let's actually go to the movie theater
Okay.
aspect of it. We have to remember life without phones and internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first and foremost. It's so easy to find out every bit of information we need just like that.
Yeah.
Immediately. There's no effort into gaining information now. That's why
Right.
it pisses me off when I have students and they ask me a question. I'm like, why didn't you look that up? Do you want me to spoon feed you everything? You look it up. You
Right.
find the answer.
Right.
I couldn't find this script online. Not my problem. You
Right.
don't know. Oh my God. Oh my God, you don't know how to read? Oh my God, I didn't know that. Go back to reading. So anyway, there was an effort. So you waited all day at school, talked about the film, you saw the picture of it maybe in a magazine or the newspaper or a poster of it. You're like, oh my gosh, I heard
Right.
this was this. And then the anticipation all day. You get driven to the place or you're taking your bike there, and then all of a sudden you're there in the movie theater, and it's like you've earned this moment. And so
Yeah.
you're going to appreciate it so much more. Even if it's not like perfect,
Right.
it's going to feel so much better.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with renting movies.
Mm-hmm.
Renting movies, oh man, what an experience.
Yeah.
The art of designing a VHS tape or a DVD cover,
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah. Right.
it was very enticing to be like, ooh,
Ooh, yeah. That was eye catching.
what is this about? So
Yeah.
you turn it over, you read the story, and you'd be like, oh, that's really... you
Look
would
at the little stills on the back so you can get a
Yeah.
vibe of what the movie is.
Exactly.
By a picture.
By a picture, and you'd be like, oh, wow.
Because you couldn't go and Google a trailer for it.
No, you couldn't.
Mm-mm.
Same thing with video games.
Yeah.
And that anticipation of looking at the cover, being like, okay, seeing the back, the
Yeah.
graphics, the certain
Mhm.
cutscenes, and you're like, okay, and the anticipation of putting in the movie,
Yeah.
the VHS or the DVD,
Yeah. Hope someone didn't scratch up the DVD.
right? And you're like, okay, and you sit there and you go through the DVD menu,
Yes.
the extras, all that
Do you know
stuff.
what I miss is if you really liked a movie, they always had it with the commentary by like the leads.
Yeah.
And they would tell behind the scenes stories and they'd talk about stuff. That was really fun.
The commentary was a lot of fun. Felt
Sometimes
like a
it didn't,
podcast.
but sometimes, yeah, it was like the first round of podcasts, you know,
Absolutely.
like just listening to someone while they're watching.
A good story of commentary during a movie. I believe it's during the movie Armageddon. Ben Affleck is talking with the director of Armageddon, who is, oh my gosh, J.J. Abrams? No, oh my gosh. Transformers director. I love putting you on the spot.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay, that's it. And he goes up to Michael Bay. He's like, hey, Michael, and I'm obviously paraphrasing. He's like, wouldn't it be easier to teach astronauts how to drill rather than people who drill for a living to be astronauts? And then he, at one point, Michael Bay at one point just goes, shut up, Ben. Because it's very true.
Right.
But just having that on a commentary, and going back to the very first thing we talked about, like, hey, speaking up when something doesn't
Makes sense.
make sense.
Yeah.
And also, you know, that was like early 2000s where you still could get away with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny to me. Like, sometimes you just got to go, all right, I'm not going to be responsible for this.
Right.
I just got to do my job as acting. And then other times you do speak up and you go, hey, we got to change this or whatever. So it just depends on the situation. Also, you're getting paid millions of dollars, so you might as well just go, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not going to be my fault.
Speaking, I don't have this written down, but I can semi-recall the new Superman. They posted how much Superman and Lois earned versus Nick, who played Lex Luthor. And Nick playing Lex Luthor, I know he has way more screen time as an experience, as an actor. He got, I believe, $2 million, while Superman and Lois got $750,000.
What?
Yeah, that's let me confirm, but that was a post I saw.
Just because he had more credits?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. This might be an unpopular opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think the negotiation, you got to get better.
Yeah. Okay, so James Gunn, director, $15 million. David, $750,000. Rachel, $750,000. Nicholas, $2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense, though. It can make sense.
It can, Yeah, you're taking a chance
credits.
on a new actor, a newer, not that he hasn't done anything, but
Yeah. Here's my honest opinion about
Okay.
that. Get some good entertainment lawyers. I don't know. I'm not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know all the ins and outs of what happened, but that's very interesting to me.
Right.
I wonder why, because Superman,
Yeah, you think at least $1 million.
I would have pushed for one.
Right.
Been like, hey,
Yeah.
the $250,000 isn't gonna kill you guys. It'll make me feel better,
Yeah.
and I will feel at least a little bit not totally effed over
Mm-hmm.
by that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is, because the Jeremy Renner story for season 2 of not Arrow, Hawkeye.
Mm.
How they wanted to pay him much less,
Yeah.
and he assumed it was after the accident. He's like, I actually have to work. You're wanting me to work more,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to pay me less,
Yeah.
and you want to take 8 to 10 months of my life dedicated to this. No,
No.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's very like gross when I don't know who the people in charge are, when it's all about money
Mm-hmm.
to the point where it's like, you guys are still making a profit.
Right.
You can't find a way to make it work. Now, there are other ways to save money when you're shooting a show.
Mm.
Sorry, if you see me checking my phone on YouTube, I've literally been on I have now PTSD whenever my phone rings, because I'm constantly checking up on my family overseas. Yeah. And that's what's going on. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or uninterested, but if you guys only knew how well I was putting it together right now.
Yeah, you are.
Oh man, I'm so nauseous. Wow, I don't even know what I was saying.
We were talking about the money saving, but also it reminds me of The Office.
Yeah. Oh, please.
With Steve Carell. And I don't think there's anything wrong with an actor, especially like in that situation with Steve, where your name is growing, your experience is growing. Unlike the women's basketball, pay people what they're worth. It's something my mother struggled with as a hairdresser. She was a hairdresser for a very long time. She had a lot of experience. She continued to go and get education. But people don't think that your price should raise. But you pay what someone is worth. You pay for the knowledge and the experience. You're not going to pay the same person, the same actor who's just coming in, I get it, the $2 million, the experience, If someone's a master at something, you pay them for their time earned in gaining that title.
Right.
So there's a sort of respect that happens in going, yes, that is how much you're worth. versus, okay, that's how much you're worth, but this is how much I have. And then sometimes that just means that partnership just isn't going to work.
Absolutely.
It's like in The Devil Wears Prada, Meryl Streep they didn't fly her to Paris because it would have cost too much. But she still wanted to do the movie. So they faked her in Paris and then flew everyone else. And that's fine. That's how they worked around it, to be able to give her the money that she earned and asked for while still, creating something.
Yeah. And again, these are just like negotiations that happened. And just to give you an example, they'd never renewed Steve Carell's contract.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, okay,
yeah,
I guess that's it. I know my worth. I'm not going to beg to be on the show. And it was such a stupid decision on NBC's part.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and listen, I've worked for NBC. I think it's great. I don't know, I really love NBC. Like, as a whole, it's offered me a lot of work. But The Office was one of those shows where, to be completely frank, I loved everybody in the cast. I tuned in primarily for Steve Carell.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
And I always think about this because, if I played Steve Carell's part, if I was at that age or whatever, and I was his part, in all honesty, The Office is the type of show that I would have done if they wanted to keep paying me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need an exorbitant amount of money. Like, every year needs to be more and more and more.
Right.
No. But I would have kept doing the show for a long time. Because it was one of those shows that I felt like I could always have fun doing.
Yeah.
And make it more interesting and make it grow. Like, for instance, it would have been great to see them have the evolution of what the paper company is, because at a certain point, you can't just be a paper company anymore.
Right.
It has to be something more, which they tried to do in other seasons, but it didn't quite work.
Right.
So the evolution of Dunder Mifflin going into more than just paper. Now, what are they selling exactly? Is it like cloud storage? Is it right?
Right.
So it's no longer paper. It's like something not, and still having the same shenanigans, but it's now evolved. Now people have families.
Mm-hmm.
Now maybe certain smaller cast members want to leave, so it's like, hey, we're having a going away thing. But like, the core of it was Steve Carell at the end of the day.
Yeah. And
for you
everyone
to
tried to replace him too. Every person who went into that manager role, whether their character existed earlier on or not, morphed, which was bizarre and just was like, what do you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very interesting because I remember watching those episodes live and just going, oh, I don't want to watch this anymore. I remember specifically going, I don't care to watch this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's really unfortunate. And then like the last season, seeing the guest spots come in and then like the new Jim and Pam, I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're trying to do. It's cool. Just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But going back to knowing your worth and negotiating, like having your reps negotiate for you. I think it's important to realize whenever you like audition for a guest star spot, and before you audition, be like, if it says in the audition, we've budgeted top of scale guest star spots for all guest spots. We can't negotiate for something more. And it's like, oh, got it. You're a show that's barely clinging on, and you can't afford to go over budget, but you can afford to pay a guest star actor scale instead of finding somebody else who's like really famous and blowing another 20 grand for, I don't want to say no reason, just for a name, just to get a few more thousand views on the episode or whatnot. And so that I think is okay. You have to understand like, oh, if I really want to do this, I'm just going to do it for this much and just accept that. But for larger things, I think you need to have really good reps who know all the inner working and details of what's going on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's I mean, I'll share some stories with my reps. I really like my reps. One of the reasons why is because they've fought to the very last moment. Every single series regular role I had, my entertainment lawyer has literally gone down to what is it called? The last minute,
Down to the wire.
down to the wire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't want to lose the job.
Right.
And they're like, we're not going to lose the job. This is just negotiating.
Right.
Usually this is how it works. For those of you who are not in the know, your reps will negotiate over the phone. And sometimes that can get heated. But the stuff over the phone verbal isn't as concrete as an email offer. So they can go back with email offers all day long. It's not over until one side says final offer. So let me caveat that rule too, because they could say final offer, and you can go, no, we asked for 25 grand more. Sorry, we're gonna pass because we've got this other thing that can turn out. Thank you. Sometimes they come back and be like, fine, 25. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah.
However, my experience with my reps, when it's final offer, it's final offer. And I've been happy with the final offer every single time.
That's really good.
It is. And I think that's important to talk with your reps about that.
Yeah.
To have a really clear and concise conversation with your reps, and especially if you're working. If you haven't booked anything with your reps or booked 2 co-stars, this is not the time to have this conversation with them,
Right.
okay? This is for people who are consistently booking recurrings, who are maybe starting to test for series regulars. This is the time to talk to your reps and be like, when you take them out for lunch, you know, having a nice conversation, be like, hey, how exactly do you negotiate for the price? Because obviously I know you want the most money too. So just curious, how does that process work for you guys? How do you like to work that process? How do you like to work that process when they're playing hardball? How do you like to work that process when they're being kind of vague and they are not really giving you much? I think those are important things to discuss with your reps. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Miss Alexandra, what else do we got?
Yeah. Oops, sorry, my phone has decided to. This isn't quite industry news in a sense, but I think it's appropriate. Finland is teaching kids how to spot AI and disinformation starting in kindergarten.
Oh, man. What a world.
Right? Yeah.
By the way, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. The AI. Can we talk about how it's now used in a brand new Netflix?
Oh, that was what I was going to
really?
segue into, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. And guess what? It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. And for a small little scene like that, I get it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's going to, people who work in the post-production are going to lose jobs over it. And that sucks. And we've got to find ways, if you're in that industry, to evolve. You got to find ways to be like an AI coder, AI, like somebody who talks to AI.
Yeah, it was the Argentinian sci-fi series, El Internata.
That's really good. I really like the accent you put on that. That was really nice.
Thank you.
Can you say it again with a little bit more accent?
El Internata.
That's very beautiful.
Thank you.
El Internata. That's
automating a building collapse scene that was done 10 times faster and more cost effectively than traditional methods. Yeah. I mean, it's like, how do directors and but visual effects stay involved in that, you know?
It's very tough. And I've talked to my cousin who works a lot with it and some other people, and it's one of those things where when cars came along, people who made parts for horse buggies, you know what I mean? Carriages, they were like, well, we're out of jobs now. And it's like, that sucks big time.
Yeah.
But part of the human spirit is accepting and knowing that you have to survive and evolve. And sometimes that evolution is small, sometimes it's major.
Yeah.
Who I really feel bad about is the people who have, like, they're in their 50s. And they've been working in the same field, and they're like, what? I have to learn something
new. Yeah.
brand new. That's not easy.
Mm-mm.
And I wish the government implemented some free programs for them to, hey, yes, AI is taking your job. However, we're offering free education and jobs for you so that you're not starving on,
Right.
starving on the street.
Yeah. But speaking of AI, that was into the next one. It was kind of quiet. We talked about it once before, but the AI video game kind of strike is done. SAG and video games.
Oh, okay.
So tentatively agreed, and they're going to ratify it soon. But protections for actors secured from AI, requiring consistent and fair play for digital replicas and a multi-year wage increase with interactive media. So just protecting them against the usage of their face, their body, and their voices.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope it turns out to be positive results.
Yeah.
It's a major issue.
Mm-hmm.
Major thing going on. Well, one of the major things.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to other stuff, it's nothing.
I heard there's a country, maybe it is Finland as well. I can't remember. It's one of the inns, Sweden, Finland, whatever. You're allowed to copyright your face.
Yeah.
To protect yourself. The only time it doesn't work is like in parodies, like anything kind of like that.
Yeah.
Where satire.
BJ Novak from The Office, he one time tweeted or put up an Instagram post of some like Chinese like city had like some small shop in a Chinese city was selling like a shave kit, like a very generic shit with his face on it, but it didn't say BJ Novak. It was just like because he had a beard. Yeah, and it's just and he's like. He made a joke about it, like I can't do anything about it. It's just
can't do anything about it.
It's just some random factory used my face. Probably didn't even know
who he was,
and just pulled a random line, like person with a beard. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, it's ridiculous.
That you know what that reminds me of? I saw this. It was just on Instagram, but someone was posting like what I ordered versus what I got. And this girl was trying to order this dress that's made out of beads, right? The whole thing is made out of beads. And the dress she got is a picture of that dress on a piece of fabric of the beads. So Shein or whatever site she had ordered it from just took a picture of the dress and printed it instead of an actual beaded dress.
That's insane.
Right?
I've encountered something like that off Amazon before, but it's because the description was not clear exactly what it was, and I was like, oh, of course. Obviously, it's easy to return stuff, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But I've seen some people like mess up, or like they're trying to get I don't know what it is, something to go around their door.
Yes, I've seen that where it's like a wreath and it's cute and it's holiday and they think they're ordering the wreath.
But
it's a picture of the door.
Right.
Yes.
And it's like a full-size picture of a door and you're like, I mean, technically it's a
I guess
but this is not what I wanted. So it always makes me think like the people who sell these things, are they just new to it and they don't know how to describe it? Because hey, they're gonna refund it and you're not gonna make the money off of it.
Right. Speaking, there was a woman somewhere in California who was getting all the returns for this car seat cover from Amazon because this Chinese storefront, it was cheaper for them to have the address go to her, but then never get it. So then they would never issue refunds. But this woman, her garage, her yard, full of these return packages. And she kept contacting Amazon like, this isn't me. Their address is wrong. And they're like, oh, you need to call someone to contact and they'll handle it. And they're like, okay, we'll handle it. And they wouldn't handle it. She had to call the news, which I feel like the fact that sometimes we have to call news, like companies, like, whatever local news to solve issues is ridiculous. But she was getting all these packages to her door. And the people online are frustrated. They're not getting their refunds because they're not getting them. And it's like, you know, there's a need for verification in the way that these businesses work. You know, verify. I got scammed. Oops. I don't know if we had talked. It feels like the last 2 weeks has felt like a whole entire year for me.
Same.
So, but before I had to go home to Washington, I had recently been scammed by a very, very well done site saying it was an anthropology warehouse sale. And starting in summer, there's usually a lot of warehouse sales. And the ad came up on Pinterest. So I figured, well, it's Pinterest. I figured they vetted their ads a little bit better, especially one pretending to be such a big company. And it wasn't until I was checking out through Shopify. They used a real Shopify link. So again, you'd think Shopify, secure. No, it wasn't. And I went, shit. I fell for it. I got scammed. But it's just one of those things where anyone can make an ad. Anyone can make a storefront. Anyone can choose an address. You know, it's like Airbnb. People used to put in fake addresses or other people's homes, and people would show up and there's nowhere to stay. I mean, they cracked down on that, but like, it's just amazing what people will do.
Yeah.
And what companies will allow. Accountability.
Yeah, I think it's hard too to track a lot of these scammers down. Thank you so much for tuning in the show. We're gonna wrap it up. Again, please. I have the link in my Instagram bio for Linktree Druze American, and in it, we are doing a few things. We are first and foremost bringing awareness of what's happening to the minority groups in Syria by this new extremist government. They are killing and massacring Christians, Alawites, and now my family, the Druze. Right now, the city of Sweida has been under siege for about 2 weeks, and they desperate need your help. We need to, bring awareness. We need to sign petitions. We need to contact our representatives. We need to contact any journalist. We've compiled evidence of crimes against Christians, Alawites, and Druze people from this extremist new government that used to be literally Al-Qaeda. And we need journalists to help us get this word out to our representatives, to the world, and to show them the truth of what's going on, because there's a lot of misinformation being spread by the current government, by local Middle Eastern news sources, that we're the ones doing these things, that the minority groups are doing these things, and it's not true. Please, please, please sign the petition, share, tag all the news agencies, and if you have a few dollars to spare, please donate to these organizations that I have in the link. They are trusted. 100% of that money will go to helping the people of Sweida right now, who are Christians, Druze as well. Please, 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 please. I can't express this enough. They are without electricity and water and food now for a very long time. We can't have another massacre happen. We need supplies. We need help. We need protection. We need a corridor for people to escape and for supplies to come in. I beg you, please, if you're a fan of me, if you're a fan of anything I've ever done, just a few minutes of your time will save lives. I beg you, please. I've put the comment below, the link below, excuse me. And other than that, I appreciate you for tuning in and staying in today. And I'll see you all next week. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk. Bye.